Welcome to the Perham Show. We are here at the Perham Area Public Library with Director Susan Heuser-Ladwig. Thank you, Susan, for being with us on the Perham Show.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, it's always great to come to the library and talk about the new and wonderful things that are going on. And I know that especially this time of year with January 1 coming up, people are making their resolutions, and one of the things people talk about is, I want to read more books. I want to learn about things. And you have incentives. You have a way to really encourage people with some of your programming coming up.
We do. In January, February, and March, we always have an adult reading program, kind of for people to come in. They get a little prize for reading books. They can read anything they like, pretty much. Usually we have a couple different ways they can sign up. So you can sign up to just kind of like on a coffee card. Every book you read, we X off a little mark on the card. Sure. And then when you fill the card, you get a mug. And our mugs this year, and some people are actually collecting our mugs every year. Yeah. So our mugs this year are really nice. They have kind of a quilting theme. And so...
Well, yeah, and this is a little thinner, it seems. Like, you know, it's almost like a tea, cocoa,
yes.
Not exclusively coffee. It's beautiful. Yeah. I love their mugs every year.
And
Why
then,
did you go with the quilting theme?
Well, you know, this is actually a statewide theme. Hot Reads for Cold Nights is a Minnesota-wide program, and every year they have kind of I think kind of a contest down in the southern part of the state where a lot of our artwork comes from, and then they decide on what they're going to be. So
okay.
Yeah. But then in addition, the prize is always the mug, typically. But in addition to the coffee cards, a lot of times we'll have a game set up. And I haven't actually printed out the game boards yet, but a lot of time it'll be like roll a dice, a die, and then move around the game board, and wherever you land, that's what you read. And so it'll say read a mystery, or it will say read a fantasy, and then for those people that just really don't get into fantasy and don't want to read fantasy or mystery or something like that, then we give you several free options to skip a turn and go on. So
you get a pass.
You do. So we don't want it to be hard for people. We want it to be fun.
Or painful.
So, that's right.
I can't read science fiction.
Yeah.
No, don't make me.
Yeah.
But that's kind of neat, though, to get people out of the rut that they might be in. Or
that's right.
Always reading. Yeah, I'm a mystery reader, and I just heard about a Minnesota author from the Iron Range who writes about Minnesota landmarks.
Okay.
Kruger, maybe?
William Kent Kruger?
Yes. Yeah,
he's very popular. Yeah.
Well, I've got to try those out.
Yep, and if you have husbands at home that love sportsmanship type things, I think the main character of that one, he is a game warden. Give William Kent Kruger a try. There's a little plug for Kruger. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, well, you do kind of get caught in a rut, and I only read this type of book, or if I'm reading nonfiction, I'm only reading quilting books or knitting books or whatever.
Right.
And yeah, that's great to have a little game for adults.
It is, yep. And so that's how we intend it. It gets you kind of out of that rut. If you want to be a little more adventurous, we can accommodate you there. So our Hot Reads for Cold Nights program, it runs January, February, and March, and you can just stop in any time and get signed up for that.
Okay, and can I ask how many books that one is it like 3 books or 6 books or 9 books or 12?
Right. Typically, if you take home our coffee type card, it's 9 books on that, and when you get to the 9th book, then you get the mug. Oh. And that's 9 books over the whole 3 months.
Sure.
If you're playing the game board, we've kind of worked it so it averages out about the same, 9 to 10 maybe. So.
Okay. And if you have you know, different, could you listen to a talking book?
Yes, we do allow, yep, we allow that as well. So if you listen to books instead of reading them, that counts as well.
Awesome. Well, let's take a quick break and we'll talk about some of the other, some of the visits and authors and programming and that kind of thing that you have coming up. So stick with us. We'll be right back from the library. Welcome back to the Perham Show. We are here at the Perham Area Public Library. My guest is Director Susan Heuser-Ladwig, and we just finished talking about Hot Reads for Cold Nights, starting in January through March, but you also have authors that are coming to visit. Why don't you tell us who you have coming to the library?
Sure. We have, right now we have 2 authors scheduled for the upcoming months. one in January. We're really excited about this one. This author, his name is John Reimringer. He's from St. Paul, Minnesota, and he won the 2011 Minnesota Book Award for his first novel, Vestments. And it's a great book. It's set in St. Paul, and so if you like reading about stories set in Minnesota, or if you're familiar with St. Paul, I think you will really find this book very interesting. And he will be in Perham to speak on Saturday, January 14th at 3 p.m. And he's actually going to be speaking over at the ITOW Veterans Museum. This program is done in collaboration with ITOW and part of their author lecture series.
Okay.
So we're really excited. He will also be attending via phone. He'll be attending our book club the week before that. Right. And so our book club at the library meets the second Tuesday of every month. And he'll be calling in because we will have read that book. We're going to be discussing Vestments that January Tuesday.
Okay.
And so you're welcome to come to the book club as well. It's open to everyone, so if you've read the book and want to discuss, come join us. The author will be calling in. And then you can come see the author on Saturday, January 14th at 3 p.m. at ITOW.
Okay. And who is you have an author coming in February, too.
We have a second author coming in February, and that's on Saturday, February 11th at 3 p.m. Again, that's going to be over at the Veterans Museum, and again, done in collaboration with ITOW. This one, his name is Doug Ullman, and actually he's a photographer, and he did a book on the state parks in Minnesota, and it's called Prairie, Lake, and Forest. And it's just beautiful. He does beautiful photography. He's actually been here before and talked about some of his books of photographs. And he's charismatic, wonderful speaker. So even if you're thinking, well, I don't know, do I want to come for a Saturday afternoon and talk about state parks? Come just to hear him talk and hear his stories about the state, because he has stories about everywhere, and he's fascinating. And so I really recommend everyone write that one down on their calendar too.
And that's the February
11th.
11th, okay.
3 p.m. Both of those are free, no charge. The first one is done with a grant through the Friends of the St. Paul Public Library, who put on the Minnesota Book Awards. And the second one is going to be done through several other types of grants as well.
Okay, that sounds great. You also have going on through the winter, correct? A story time for...
Yes, we do, and I really want to recommend that anyone with young children come in and participate in story time at the library. We are having a kind of a resurgence in story time. I'm excited about it. We have stories, often read by volunteers, sometimes read by library staff, and then typically a little activity or a song or a craft or something like that going along with it. And we just invite everyone with small children to just bring your kids into the library on Tuesday mornings. Our story time is every Tuesday morning at 10:15. And everyone's welcome.
And there's no need to pre-register.
No pre-registration, there's no
too
charge.
Is free. Yeah, okay. So if you have sniffles on your way out the door, you don't need to call and cancel. You can just, you know, yeah, that makes it real easy and effortless to take part in preschool story time at the library. Do you have, I just want to quickly talk about downloadable, the e-books.
Right. That is a program we started last year, and so it hasn't been going on for a full year yet. We're building our inventory, so if you do ebook downloading or audiobook downloading, you might notice that our collection is kind of small, but we're adding new things every day. But yes, they are available through your public library, both to listen to, the audiobooks, and the ebooks for you to download to your Kindle or your Nook. You know, how many people received e-readers for Christmas? Sure. We've been just hearing story after story of people who received one for Christmas. And so stop into the library. We have instruction sheets. We'll be glad to help you out as much as we can. We're not all, big tech savvy people, but we each of us at the library, each of us have a different reader, so we're a little we can kind of pass out the instructions and help people along
and
with that.
I've downloaded for iPod and then listen to them.
Audiobooks.
Well, before we run out of time, and we will just quickly, give us a phone number and contact information for the library.
Sure. To reach the library by phone, we're at 218-346-4892 or on the web at www.perham.lib.mn.us.
Very good. Thanks so much, Susan, for being with us on the Perham Show, and thank you for tuning in as well.